We also got another leak. This time, Charlotte. Charlotte Flair is the victim of yet another one of those iCloud hacks of personal private images being posted online through a multitude of different sites and social media picked it up in other places. Certain accounts were taken down in response, but obviously, as we all know, the internet, if it's up there and if it's out there, then it's going to be there likely forever. So poor Charlotte has to deal with that. And yeah, once again, we go through this argument of, who's to really be blamed for all this. Obviously, it really does suck that there are people out there who do indeed capitalize on taking stuff from people. They find a way to hack, they find a way to steal, and they exploit off of it. And for what? Just to get arrested later on? Because they can't take credit for this and not deal with the penalty that comes with it, as I'm sure it would. But at this point, we have no idea exactly who leaked it, and we don't know how long it would take for that person to be found and caught. We don't know if this is the same person that, took part in the earlier leaks with Paige and Victoria and so many other women from just, well, maybe a month ago, or, well, actually over a month ago. So, this is once again the iCloud. And this is kind of a troubling thing because a lot of people obviously use that. So, yeah, can you feel safe at this point? Should you ever feel safe? Point is, privacy is a very elusive thing in this day and age. We may be losing more and more of it. So, yeah, I just wouldn't do that myself. And all throughout this entire series of events, we've quickly seen people come to Charlotte's defense, but in the worst way. All they're doing is just trying to call people out on victim blaming here, and that's not accurate. I understand their well wishes. I understand they want the best for Charlotte. They don't like what has happened to her. Well, whether or not they're a Charlotte fan, it's obviously not a good thing to see anyone be in this situation. But you do have to take responsibility into consideration, and ultimate responsibility comes from the individual who took the photo. And given the nature of the photos being selfies, obviously it's Charlotte. I hate to say it, and I know you guys hate for me to say it, but it is indeed a fact. Okay? Now, before everyone, comes at me with torches and pickaxes or whatever, they're going to say, well, a lot of people do stuff like this. They even harken back to the Page leaks and they talk about, having sex on camera. Well, people just have sex. I don't know why everybody's up in arms about this, or why everyone's so mad at Paige about it. Everyone has sex. Well, that's not the point. Okay? Everyone has sex. I get it. All right? And we all get it. But the point is, everybody shits as well. And we don't put that on camera. If we do, then that's weird. Don't you think? So yeah, I'm a little turned off. I'm a little weirded out by the fact that Paige and or Brad Maddox would, report themselves having sex. Now, there was some talk of something like that being a part of this recent hacking scandal with Charlotte. For some reason, people said it would be her and Becky Lynch. No, I don't want to see that. First of all, I hope not. I hope nothing like that exists, especially if these two women are in a closet or whatever. I don't know whether or not that's the case, but that would be really stupid if they had sex on camera and they're both trying to be in a closet or whatever. It's a step too stupid for them to fall into. I would hope and I would believe that they are smarter than that, because apparently Paige isn't, and look at all the issues she's been going through. So hopefully, for their sakes, no such thing exists and it will not be exploited. Uh, but sadly, there is a chance that people are holding people hostage with stuff like this. And I don't know if Charlotte's being forced to play ball as a means to keep secret whatever else has not been leaked yet. I don't know. Hopefully everything is all behind us at this point. Um, and other people chimed in with other criticisms to individuals that wanted to place some blame on Charlotte. They were saying, okay, if someone stole into your bank info online, you know, how would you feel about that? Well, first of all, if I had as much value as Charlotte, I'd be sure not to keep all my money in one account. Certainly not in the same account used by normies, people who are not rich, especially if it's that bank that keeps getting robbed and hacked. Why would I put all my money there? As a matter of fact, if I'm famous, I'll do most of my business in person, because my fame just might get me a few more freebies, so to speak. You know, they'll get star-crossed seeing a celebrity show up to their bank in person and hobnob and rub noses with the bank's owner. So that's how you should be handling things. You should be diversifying your funds instead of saving everything. How about this? How about you invest it somewhere? How about you I don't know, open up a business, or put it in a safe, perhaps. Even that, converting it into gold or silver, whatever. You just can't use the same one account in the same one bank at the same shitty bank that everybody else is using. So you really have to think here, and it doesn't take that much thinking to do. She should have done that, and she didn't. And these pictures are kind of old. They are from 2014, back when Paige looked decrepit. I'm sorry, athletic and all. There's no excuse for someone in their 20s to look like that. I'm sorry, male or female. It doesn't matter. Or maybe she was sick. Okay, I'll give her that. I hate to be, judging someone, but hey, if you're gonna be narcissistic enough to take nude pictures of yourself and save them to rewatch later for years later, I mean, what does this mean? Couldn't you have at least taken a Polaroid and printed it out and kept it in your drawer or something? You could have done that, right? You have to put this on a public storage account, the iCloud. It just doesn't make sense. So, if you're going to be that narcissistic, don't be shocked if this stuff gets out, and don't be shocked if someone else sees it and decides to judge. She looked like shit back then. She really did. Um, I don't know how she could have been proud enough to take those pictures. I guess good on her, but you know, I don't know what standard she looks for it in her own in looks. I guess I don't know, but the point is, I don't see how anybody could have any fun with those pictures. which is basically all I really want to say about this. Well, one last thing. I mean, people think that everyone who is putting some level of responsibility on Charlotte is trying to be mean to Charlotte or trying to just hate on Charlotte. Well, actually, no. Imagine this. Imagine being Charlotte's close friend, and you need to borrow her computer because you have some stuff that you like to store, and she says okay. She says no big deal. So you go through, and by mistake, you just happen to stumble across these pictures where she's nude to varying degrees. How would you react? How would you react? You'll react with shock and being completely stunned. You would turn to her and say, "Oh my gosh, what is this? Charlotte, is this you?" You'd basically be angry. You'd be shocked and angry. And you would almost demand an explanation. And that's coming from a place of love, okay? Tough love. It's not a place of hatred or trying to mock someone or be mean to them. You're begging for this person that you know and care about to be responsible and be careful. And it's not shame, but maybe even if it is shame, there's some upside to it. Okay? You can't just teeter into, well, I'm not going to confront her over this, even though it's a complete and utter mistake for her to do this. I have to respect her choice to do this. No, you couldn't just let her do that. You couldn't just let that happen. I'm sorry. Someone has to step in and say something. And that's what the internet collective community is doing here.